Hello? Okay, good. Has someone ever asked you, where are you from, and you didn't really know what to say? If I asked the question, where are you from, a few decades ago, maybe when my parents were still my age, I would have gotten an immediate one-word answer. Usually people died in the same small village or town in which they were born, barely leaving the state they grew up in. However, as we see a more global, modern world, the answer to that seemingly simple question becomes more complex. Where am I from? Is where I'm from the place where I was born? The place where my parents were born? Is where I'm from the place I have citizenship for or a residency permit? Well, sometimes when people ask me the question, where are you from? I just stand there and think, forgetting everything around me, like introducing myself. Hello, everyone. My name's Athina Bohner. I'm a 9th grader here at GEMS American Academy and currently live right here in Abu Dhabi. If someone really does ask me, where are you from? I always say, my mother is half Bulgarian, half Greek, and my father is half German and half Hungarian. But I was born in Hamburg, Germany, so I'm a hamburger, not a cheeseburger. Like, I'm not even kidding. This has been my standard reply for as long as I can remember. But for a long time now, this one topic, something very close to my heart, has been popping into my head. Internationalism, and how it changes the world, how it changes society. But hey, society, that's a very broad and complex concept. So in order to really analyze how this is influencing our lives, we've got to break it down. Now, whether you like it or not, the physical aspect of human nature is a very important part of our society. The first part of society that you can actually see and acknowledge with your eyes. Thanks to a more diverse population, we start to see a more colorful group of people with different body shapes, clothes, and facial features. Not only is this changing our communities, but it is also loosening the harsh beauty standards set previously. Now, it's not just one hair color, one skin tone, or one eye color that is deemed as beautiful, but the different appearances and uniqueness of each and every individual is starting to become the true beauty of our society. Unfortunately, as most things go, there's also a negative side to the interconnections between our physical appearances and the growing range and mix of nationalities. Some, especially young children, fall victim to bullying due to how they look different than the rest of their neighborhood. One example was me. The school where I started first grade in Germany was very small and not open-minded at all. At most, there were 5 nationalities in the entire school, with the majority, of course, being Germans. I was often mocked because I had dark hair and dark eyes, and how my parents looked so different from their parents. Now that I think about it, it seems so silly to bully someone just because they look a bit more, I guess, Eastern European than you. But back then, it really, really did hurt me. Exactly this is the reason why you as parents and educators need to teach kids acceptance and tolerance so that by the time they grow a bit older, they already have the morals and ethics of an open-minded individual. The physical aspect of society isn't the only one influenced by the growing multiculturalism in our fast-paced world. A key way to understanding how we are as a global community is understanding the emotional side of things. Now, you might be wondering, how are my emotions and my feelings related to a more multicultural planet? Well, in my mind, emotions and feelings are extremely valuable to understanding a group of people and the way they relate to others, especially to foreigners. In this day and age where concepts like technology and migration have such significance in shaping lives, we are forced to see different perspectives and are forced to adapt to people with different backgrounds. Wait a minute. I don't like how I used the word forced in my last sentence. It makes it sound like a bad thing that we are evolving and expanding our horizons. It's not a negative thing at all, but an opportunity to create more open-minded, independent, yet united leaders. Not just leaders in business or politics, but normal people who stand up for equal human rights, even with their family and friends. Unfortunately, as I said previously, there are always two sides of things, the good and the bad. See, that's me this year, representing Bulgaria in our school's International Day. A few years ago, something very similar to this was held at school, but only one student from each country could carry their national flag. Of course, there was a huge scandal about who should carry the German flag, and some people and I got into a fight over it. You know what they told me when I said I wanted to carry the flag? They told me, "You're not German enough." First of all, who decides what it takes to be German enough, or American enough, or Emirati enough, or any other nationality for that matter? Who is this person, this big boss who pushes people into these categories well, this guy is American, this one fits the description of an Italian, and now pretend this is me? Well, she's not German enough. Bulgarian, not really. Hungarian, well, nah. Greek, Now guess who this big boss really is? It's the stereotypes that we as humans have brought upon ourselves over time. We are the ones who unknowingly do this, sending our new generation onto the wrong path. The third aspect of how our lives are being influenced by the modernization and globalization, which is shaping the very world we live in today, is the social side of things. As humans, we've always been social, always communicating in one shape or form. A few years ago, we communicated using letters and postcards, which have been replaced by Snapchat and Instagram. Why? Because social media is global, allowing us to connect with people all over the world as internationalism grows. But the most significant thing that is influencing the social side of the world today is the growth and spreading of languages. Languages they're beautiful in the way they convey messages at such a personal level and have the ability to truly bond us as international individuals together. Personally, I'm learning 4 languages: Spanish, Arabic, Hungarian, and Greek, and can fluently speak German, Bulgarian, and English. However, that wasn't always the case. Actually, 5 or 6 years ago, I could only count to the number 12 in English. That all changed when I stepped foot into my grade 5 classroom in this very building. Immediately, I was welcomed by this amazing teacher who not only completely understood what I was going through in this brand new environment, but also talked to me and treated me like an equal. That's the first English word she ever taught me. Awesome. She wrote it down on the first day of school, and I've always kept the piece of paper close to me because it represents the kindness of strangers and, most importantly, reminds me every single day what a good-hearted and open-minded society I live in. Now, if there's one thing I learned over the course of my life, is that I'm not really German. I'm not really Bulgarian. I'm not really Greek, and I'm not really Hungarian. So what exactly am I? Well, just like you, and you, and you, and the other 7,509,951,788 people living on this planet right now, I'm a global citizen of the world. Realizing that and not putting myself into these boxes or categories really brought me into this new level of appreciating and understanding the complexity and diversity of our society. However, this can be difficult to achieve as we all speak so many different languages and communicate in so many different ways. But there is one language that everyone understands: music. There comes a time when we hear a certain call, when the world must come together as one. They're all people dying, oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life. the greatest gift of all. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, you and me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.